Why are you focusing?
Victor Cruz and Victor Fernandez. You fled over here with a nigga named Victor, but we're not victors. You fled with a nigga named Victor, but we're not victors. We're victimized by the white supremacists, sir. That's the reality, my brother.
That is nonsense. We are not victimized. We are victors. You know what? You know what's interesting, Tariq?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
yeah. I expected more from you, right? I expected more from you. Now, let me just say
Like
one
what? What
thing.
did you expect from me?
Tariq, give me a second.
What
Let me
did you
just say
expect
one
from me?
thing. Let me say one thing.
Because what you're gonna get from me is the truth. I don't sit here bullshitting people. I'm not here to make you feel good. I'm here. I'm a truth teller. I kick it and just say what it is. But go ahead.
And I respect that. I respect that. But we need to change our mindset. You know, I just finished reading this great book called Black Rednecks and White Liberals, and it's so interesting that Thomas Sowell says that most Black Americans' behavioral patterns are not original, right? They inherited those behavioral patterns from a white Southern dirty rednecks, and that's my point. We need to change our mindset. Even Black.
And that Thomas Sowell is a paid coon. He says
And,
Sambo
and
as
how
show.
we know that you're not a paid coon? Because
He
you're
had
promoting victimhood.
because I'm too
You're promoting.
thorough. I'm too thorough. I got too much grassroots support. That's how you know. Thomas Sowell don't. White supremacists can't stand me. That's how we know. You understand? Thomas Sowell says a lot of stuff that the white supremacists want to hear. We don't got nothing to do with no redneck culture. Rednecks are dirty, filthy trailer trash. Foundational Black Americans, we ain't never been no dirty, filthy, trashy people. We ain't never been no funky, musty, dusty, shantytown living Negroes. That ain't never been our culture. We've been the epitome of cleanliness and morality. Let's keep it a buck. That's not us whatsoever. We despise that dirty redneck culture. So that's all cap. But
No,
go
no, no,
ahead,
no, no,
sir.
no. That's no. That's debatable. So you're talking.
How so? Debatable how so? Go ahead, my brother. Where you at?
Yeah, no, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's not
that's debatable.
debatable.
If you do your research in the antebellum South, before black people even adopted certain mentalities, right? They got those behavioral patterns from white dirty rednecks. Now, the facts are the facts. Thomas Sowell has substantiated these claims.
Like what?
So,
What did we
hold
get from
on.
them? What did we get?
Yeah. You said what?
What did we get from the rednecks?
Oh, AAVE, Black English, sexual laxity, this lethargic, lazy mindset that we have. We got those from white rednecks, but you refuse to accept the
Lazy?
truth. No, hold on.
How, lazy?
Excuse me.
How you? How you a slave and lazy?
What,
What the hell?
hold on. Give me a second. Wait.
How
First of
you a
all,
lazy
hold on.
slave? And
No.
how that
First
work?
of all, hold on. First of all, in the words of Victor Hugo, there's visible labor and invisible labor. So, invisible labor means that you're mentally working. So, one can argue that the architects of that built America were the mental workers. Right,
What?
where John D. Rockefeller. One can also argue that just because you were a slave doesn't mean you had a great work ethic.
Oh yeah. Not only
That
that,
doesn't mean
we
your
were
work
no
ethic
no
was impeccable.
hold on, because we were doing a lot of the inventing. That's why after slavery we started getting patents left and right, because during slavery we couldn't get patents. That's why many of these famous inventions, if you dig past and look underneath, you see a lot of black people were doing the blueprints. A lot of black people were behind the engineering. A lot of the bridges and the railroads, you had black engineers like Horace King, who was enslaved, who was an architect. You go down to some of these plantations in Louisiana and South Carolina, they'll tell you the black people who were the architects of them. Come on now. When you look at the cotton gin, Eli Whitney, they got that from a black person. So yeah, we were the brains behind a lot of this stuff. Lewis Latimer, when you Alexander Graham Bell, the person who did the blueprints was Lewis Latimer for the damn phone. Who really made the phone? We know Lewis Latimer did the light bulb. He was the one who really did the light bulb. It wasn't just mental laziness. No. We were behind a lot of these inventions, sir. That's why we have so many patents. Let's be real. I'm just making things historically correct here, because Thomas Sowell, again, he says stuff that the white supremacists like to hear. They like to hear about how lazy
No,
we are,
absolutely.
and
So,
we're like lazy redneck. They like to hear that type of stuff. The
no,
hell we're not.
no,
We ain't like
absolutely,
no damn rednecks. No, we ain't. We ain't never been
absolutely.
dirty and filthy.
No,
We
I'm
ain't
not.
never
No,
been dirty and filthy like them funky ass rednecks. We ain't never been
sure,
like them.
I'm not refuting anything you're saying,
That's
sir.
why our
Right?
food, none of that. They try to say we get food from there. None of our food tastes like that bullshit. Hell no. But go
Sure.
ahead, sir.
Yeah, now I'm not refuting anything you're saying here, sir. What I'm simply saying is that we can't sit here and perpetuate this rhetoric that we're victims. We are not victims. That's one. Two, yes, those inventions are true. Historically, what you're saying is factual, but also we can't ignore that white people were just as innovative and creative. We cannot sit here and ignore historical facts that John D. Rockefeller and some of these white men, they were the architects that built America. Now, I'm going to give credit where credit's due here. Yes, in terms of manual labor, yes, we had a monopoly on that. Awesome, that's great. But we have to agree that the making of America, the building of America was a collaborative effort. Right? It
But
was a
the thing is,
collaborative
but
effort.
we've always been the secret sauce because when the white supremacists tried to do it on their own, they failed. They
If you've
tried to
always
sit.
been the secret sauce, stop begging for reparations then. If you guys have been
No. If you owe us, no. That's not begging. If you owe us, we want what's owed. We are the
and no,
secret
it does.
sauce.
It
Slow down. If you owe us, give me what's owed. You're not going to sit up here and just work all of this labor and all of this wealth out of us, and we don't say nothing. And we no. We're standing on business. You gonna pay us? No,
yo,
no,
no.
no.
Tariq.
They gonna pay us our money. They owe us. This ain't begging. You beg for a green card. You don't beg for what's owed. Give me my
No,
money.
Tariq. No, let's run that back. You just sat here and said black Americans have always been the secret sauce. And what I'm trying to figure out here is that if we've always been the secret sauce, why are you saying that we're victims? That is a contradiction, right?
How
It makes
so?
no sense. If no, let me speak, sir. Because you've
I'm
been
letting you
cutting
speak.
me off
I'm
and
not
muting
cutting you
me.
off.
And if you respect
You're not
Haitians,
mute.
no, give me a second, Tariq. If you fuck with Haitians, right? Let me speak because I'm a Haitian. So give me some grace here. Thank you. Thank
Go
you
ahead,
very
brother.
much.
Go
Thank
ahead.
you.
Take a
So
bite out of your dirt cookie and calm down. But go ahead.
absolutely. I'd rather eat my dirt cookies than eat Wendy's like how you black Americans do. Give me one
But
second. At least my hold on.
Wendy's is better than dirt
No,
cookies
no,
and
no, it's not.
bushmeat. All
No,
right.
no, it's not. Those mud cookies in
Wendy's.
Hades are
I'd rather eat Wendy's, the restaurant, than a woman named Wendy, because y'all eat a human down there. You ate
and those
Wendy Dessalines. That's who you ate. But go ahead. Go ahead.
Wendy's. I like that. That was very clever.
There we
That was
go.
very clever.
go, go ahead, brother. Go.
that was very clever. You
There
see,
you go. You walk right into it. You
no,
know
no,
I'm very
yo,
good.
fair enough. And look, you right. I did walk into that. That was dope. I'm not even gonna say here and
I
lie.
eat Wendy's and you ate Wendy. Go
All
ahead.
right, fair enough. Fair enough. Listen. We eat people. Okay, fair enough. What I'm simply saying is that if I'm trying to understand if we have always had the secret sauce, right? Then why are you saying that we're victims? That does not sound like a victim to me. If we've always had the secret sauce, if you believe that black folks to some extent had a monopoly on creativity and innovation, then why are you saying that we're victims if we have?
Let me give you an example. And I always use the Michael Jackson example. Michael Jackson, greatest entertainer ever, made the greatest album ever, the biggest selling album in history, Thriller. Michael Jackson, according to the family, basically they were victims of abuse. They were victims of abuse. Joe Jackson, he was a strict father. He pushed them, but he was, according to the family, he was somewhat abusive. They were victims of Joe Jackson. This is why they had, Michael had issues as an adult. He was victimized. Even though he was very successful, he was the secret sauce in the music industry. He was still a victim. And the reason why he was pushing so hard to be so great was because of the abuse as a child. Joe really pushed him, and Joe made him practice and made him sing and made him. Joe, even though Joe could be considered a victimizer, I'm just saying what the family looked at him as just being too rough. He didn't let him have a childhood. He was just really pushing him so hard. Even though he was considered the victimizer, he brought out the greatness that was already in Michael. So even though Michael was the secret sauce, he was still a victim of abuse to a certain degree. And we're the same way as foundational Black Americans. We're great people. Our greatness is known all around the world, even though we are abused by these white supremacists. That doesn't take away from the greatness. We are still great people as victims of white supremacy. See how that works? You can still be great and be victimized. That's a reality. So that's the analogy I like to use. And I think my Haitian brothers and sisters can be great too. I really do.
So Tariq,
Because
Tariq, that's
they've had a great history.
I have a
I would
question.
like for them to tap back into
no,
that history. I'm gonna
so,
get you
so,
in a minute, Carmen. I'll get you in a minute, beloved.
yeah, Carmen, you can wait. Thank you. So Tariq, so help me understand something here, right? You're saying that you can still be great and a victim.
Yeah,
That's what you're telling me. So that's the
yeah,
best you got.
yeah. Because you got people in prison who are phenomenal, who shouldn't even be in there, and they're victimized, but they're great. You got some talented people who are in prison. They're still victimized. They're still under in an institution of a prison. So that doesn't take away from their greatness.
So Tariq,
And you got people,
Tariq,
and
let me
you
ask
got
you this.
people.
Let me ask
Go
you
ahead.
this: instead of wasting valuable time, because I believe time is the greatest asset that we have, right? It's a great asset. Instead of wasting valuable time on X on a white man's platform, why don't you create your own platform? Why don't you create your own app? And this is the problem with black folks. We waste a lot of valuable time having these conversations when we all have the purchasing power. We all have the resources to come together and build our own apps, our own platforms. But instead, you want to sit here and call me a tether, or you want to sit here. And this is what I'm saying. To me, in my opinion, it seems to me. It seems to me that there's a poverty of the imagination in most Black Americans. Right? This is why I call you guys foundational broke Americans. I don't mean you guys are broke financially. I mean you guys are broke psychologically, creatively. Because Tariq, you are very
But you're a Haitian. You see how that sounds coming from a Haitian? You can't say that, and you come from the most impoverished place in the Western Hemisphere. You're not at liberty to point fingers. You understand?
I'm not pointing fingers, sir. What I'm
Yeah,
simply
yes,
saying
you
is that
are. You're not at liberty to point fingers, sir. You come from the most impoverished place in the Western Hemisphere, where the poverty level is excruciatingly high. So you can't point fingers. But anyway, thank you so much, sir. I don't want to talk in circles. Let me get some more people in here. See, this is what we're saying. You can't be from Haiti or your family from Haiti and Panama, two broke places, and then point the finger at FBA's talking about what we ain't doing. We're doing better than that. Carmen, hop on, ma'am.
Oh my gosh.
How are you, Carmen? Turn your microphone on, dear. Carmen?
I'm good. Yeah. Can you just not do the muting thing all the time? Because,
Oh, no, no, no. We got to have decorum, man, because what happens, a lot of non FBA people, they're used to just bickering and yelling and talking over each other, and nobody can understand anything. So if there's not any real decorum, I have to have order in here. So
yeah,
that's why, yeah, we got to have order. But
I,
go ahead.
I understand, man. Um,
Now, you're Latina. I hear your Latina accent. What are you, Puerto Rican or Cuban?
oh, no, 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 I'm not. No.
I don't hear a Latin accent, Carmen.
No, I'm Canadian. Maybe that's what
Oh, okay. Okay. Canadian.
yeah.
A black Canadian girl. Where's your family from?
Do I have to go in into all of that or?
Yeah, this
Okay.
ma'am, this is not let's make a deal. All
My
right.
my parents are from Jamaica.
Okay. Okay. Now
Uh,
what's on your mind? I was close, but what's on your mind, dear?
I just wanted to just ask a question
Go ahead.
on what Power was saying. Um, it might be a little bit off topic, and I'm not placing judgment on anybody.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of like the Black community, okay, what do you think is going to drive us towards real change? Okay, and what I mean by that is not depending on the powers that be, because I do not necessarily believe that they have our best interest at heart. Okay. And let me just give a little bit of an example. Okay. So when 2008 came about and Obama was being considered for president, and everybody worldwide was excited. We are even celebrating here in Canada. And it became a little bit of a concern after his 4-year term ended because there wasn't much change that occurred, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if we all could remember back in 2008, that's basically um, was Obama's slogan, right? Change, right? Seeing change in America, seeing change in the world. And then, especially with the Black community, being that the Black people were classifying him as Black, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even though he's biracial, but we're still going to classify him as Black because he is ethnic, regardless of his parental figures, right? So even though we understood that he had a white mother, we still labeled him as Black because we were really looking forward to the change that Obama was due to bring, right? So now, after these 8 years passed, right? I'm not saying that President Obama didn't do anything for those 8 years,
He
okay?
not for us. No, he didn't do anything for us. But go ahead.
Right, right. So that's the point I'm going to get to, right? Because I know people are going to say, well, he couldn't possibly do much within the 8 years. Understood, okay? He only had 8 years to be president, whatever. But fast forward to now, we haven't really we haven't seen much change in terms of in the economy. As a matter of fact, the economy is much worse than it's ever been after Obama became president and Donald Trump um, became president. Donald Trump basically set us back 50 years. Okay. And then we had Joe Biden, who was president for 4 years, basically didn't even do anything. He was like a walking zombie. Okay. And now everyone is advocating for Kamala Harris. So my question is, or Kamala, sorry. My question is, right? What do we really expect Kamala, even if Kamala does become president, okay, regardless if it's her or Donald Trump, if Kamala does become president, what do we think Kamala is really going to do to bring change to the world, let alone the Black race, okay, to move us further into a better future for not only ourselves, but our children?
Okay, now this is interesting because you're saying our, but you're in Canada. You're not even in the U.S. So either one of them being president, how's that going to affect you?
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be a question for me. It's a question for you, right? You're in the States
Right.
or the American people, right? But as I stated back, right? When Obama became president, worldwide, everybody was excited for his presidential term. Okay, so not only the people in America, worldwide. We're even celebrating in Canada, as
Right.
I
I understand now. No, no, slow down.
and
You're saying that because you're
even
saying,
though
slow down, slow down. Because you're like, well, us, he didn't do anything for us, but you're not even a U.S. citizen. Now, I know what he didn't do for us, but you're not a U.S. citizen. So what could
okay,
he have done for a Canadian citizen?
I'm still a Black woman though, right? So I'm speaking in terms of Black people on a whole, Black people worldwide, right? So
But okay, let's unpack
going
that.
back to what
Let's unpack that
going
because
back to what Power was saying.
hold on, let's unpack that because a lot of people who are let's go into Jamaica. I've heard Jamaicans say, "Well, I'm black and Jamaican." I've seen them other the term black. I've heard some Jamaicans say, "Well, I'm not black, I'm Jamaican." I've heard people say that. So they've othered blackness. So a lot of them don't even view themselves as black. And in fact, Jamaica has a lot of different caste systems there. That's where your girl Kamala's family is from. They come from that caste system. Her dad, there's no evidence of her dad ever identifying as black. Zero. No evidence. They just say he's Jamaican, but what the hell kind of Jamaican? That man is never identified as black. And not really Kamala either. They keep trying to blacken up her background and have her with greens and hot sauce and all that shit. No, no, no,
Okay,
no, no.
which I agree is the same thing with Obama, right? Obama's biracial and they still labeled him as Black because he's ethnic.
Mhm.
Regardless, if you're in the public eye, they're going to label you as Black, regardless if you have some type of
Right.
ethnicity attached to you.
And here's the
You're
thing.
not, hold
This
on,
is where we
you're
hold
not,
on, slow down, slow down, because we got to unpack this. This is where we are now. We as foundational Black Americans, we're not falling for these Jedi mind tricks because that's been a trick of the white supremacists by getting a melanated person and saying, "Hey, this person is black now." and this person is your representative, and they don't come from our lineage, so they don't have a real camaraderie with us, so they don't really feel a need to look out for us. So if they neglect us, there's not going to be any guilt to that. And they're not from our communities anyway, so there's not going to be any kind of blowback against them or their families because they're not from our community. We do not want non FBA people stepping up as our representatives. This is where we are now. Just
Okay.
like other groups, they don't like other people representing them. We don't want the Obamas and the Kamalas trying to act as our representatives because they have a horrible track record implementing the benign neglect policy against us. That's why we're checking lineages. The minute somebody steps up and say, "Hey man, I got something to say," okay, where are you from? That's the first thing we need to know because that's going to shape how they approach the situation. And we simply do not want non FBA people as our spokespersons because they just don't have a good track record as representing us. That makes sense, sis?
Well, yeah, yeah, yeah. That's, I mean, that's basically, that's why I was asking the question, right? What
Hmm.
what is Kamala? Just as everybody thought Obama was going to bring great change to the world.
Kamala's a nothing burger. We ain't rocking with Kamala like that. Despite what you see in the media, the black community is not rocking with Kamala Harris like that. Kamala is going to lose bigly against Trump. She doesn't have a chance in hell to beat Trump. And we're not Trump supporters. I'm not supporting Trump at all.
So you think Trump is going to win?
Oh yeah, he's going by a landslide. Kamala Harris is not going to win. She doesn't have no real strong black support like that. They're trying to manufacture some type of image that the black community is really stomping for her, and we're not. We're not. We have a history with Kamala Harris. That woman has treated the black community horribly when she was a prosecutor. We didn't forget. I'm out here in California. She was horrible out here. And the whole sister girl act where she's dancing with Converse and Timberlands on and talking about putting greens in a bathtub. Get that bullshit out of here. Go make you some Punjabi rice and sit down and get out our damn face. That's where we are with it. Yeah.
All right, Tariq, thank you. That was my only question.
Thank you, beloved. I
Oh,
appreciate you. Oh
okay.
yeah, we're not rocking with them. That's what it is. Let's get my sister here. Let's get Miss Aki in the building, the lovely Aki, my sister in the building, and we got 1,400 people in here, man.
Hi, Tariq.
What's up, dear? How are you?
I'm all right. Just a little under the weather.
Uh-oh.
I wanted to give Carmen a different response to her question, which I hope was
Yes.
asked in good faith about how we advance as Black people.
Go ahead.
I'd say we advance large scale globally when the rest of you start putting some points on the board.
Mm,
We can't do it all. And I'm not saying this to disparage anyone, but you have to pay attention to what's happening here. Carmen herself is a Jamaican woman of Jamaican ancestry, left that island to the wolves. She's in Canada, where Black Canadians, as far as I know, aren't making any major waves. She's sitting here worrying about Obama and Harris and what we've got going on here, and really investing all this mental energy into it. How about putting a Black Canadian in office?
mm,
How about getting back to the island and holding people accountable for the resources that they're misattributing there? We can only go so far with one small group still standing 10 toes down, fighting against our common oppressor. And now we have this whole heckler section full of other Black people from all around the world watching what we're doing, criticizing,
right.
offering unsolicited feedback that's not helpful. The only way y'all can help us is return home and get something done because we did, which gave y'all a place to go to when things got too hot. Things
Mm,
get too hot, you can come here, right?
mm-hmm.
If things collapse here, which I personally don't think Trump's going to come and enslave us all. He would have done that first term.
Right.
But if what they're saying is true, he's going to come and just ruin everything. We have nowhere to go. We can't go to Canada. Y'all haven't set anything up for us there, the Black people who are there. We can't
Mm-hmm.
go back to Africa. Y'all haven't set anything up there. We can't go to the Caribbean. We need y'all to start doing your part because we've got us. Let us do us. You do your part, and I guarantee we'll come up. But y'all have got to get off our asses and do your part. That's all.
Mm. Thank you so much. Eloquently put. Eloquently put. Don't y'all notice that? People got all the smoke for foundational Black Americans. Y'all coming over here pointing the finger at us. It's like what's the guy? What's his I forgot the guy's name. But yeah, the power guy. Y'all FBA niggas, y'all need to do dude. you do know where your homeland is, right? And you do know how down bad you guys are in your homeland. Y'all can't be fleeing from all of your little dilapidated homelands, wagging your little fingers at us. That's weird. Y'all always telling us what we should be doing and what we. You need to get off the white man's app. Well, nigga, you gave a lap dance to a white man to get your green card. Come on now, y'all can't be playing that game. We've seen how you guys act in your homelands when white people show up. Y'all don't want to do that. Y'all don't want to do that. We've seen. I done been to Haiti. I had a white cameraman with me. Some of them women were trying to take that cameraman in the back shed and do something with him. All over. They see a white man, it's like white man is God. You go to Africa, forget about it. They see a white man, boy, they start taking off their shoes and doing a tribal dance for the white. They go to town. Oh, hell, nah, move my head. Hell, nah, move my head. Hell, that white man. Hell, nah, move my head. They get out there singing and dancing and stomping them little ashy feet. Hell, nah, move my way. And then the ashes want to get out there, start singing. Hell, nah, move my head. Hell, nah, move my head. They really put some stank on it. When there's more than one white person, they really start harmonizing with the damn Samboisms. Don't talk about what we do with white folks and white people's platform. We're on a global system of white supremacy. The planet is their damn platform. Shit. We're under a global system of white supremacy. We ain't doing no tribal dances though. That's the big difference. Let's get lineage over melanin. Lineage over melanin. Hop in, brother. And we are heavy in this piece, 1500 deep. By the way, speaking of musty, go to rootworkstyle.com to get the Rootwork deodorant. Go to hiddenhistorymuseum.com. Number one, make a donation to the Hidden History Museum. Get the book, Hidden Heroes from A to Z. And also, if you're in LA, come by the Hidden History Museum. Come by tomorrow. We're open tomorrow, 11 o'clock to 4. Come on in tomorrow, man. Come enjoy it. But anyway, let's get what's the brother? Lineage. Hop in, brother.
What's good, Tariq? Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can. What's on your mind, brother?
Cool. Yeah, I'm just gonna be real brief. I'm glad I followed the great sister Aki. We've been on a number of posts together, pointing out this hypocrisy behind the posts where we said we could tell y'all apart from us, and now all the Africans are going in trying to throw shade. And you retweeted one with Gabby Sidibe. They don't really know that she's Senegalese, but that's a whole other issue.
Oh yeah.
Um, I just wanted to just point out and inform the family that on July 30th, the New York State Reparations Commission will be meeting for the first time in Albany. They're going to be impaneled, I think, on the 29th, and then the 30th is when it starts. It is actually an open forum. It's going to be open to the public, so we are looking to organize to go there and make a statement now. But I just wanted to inform the family that people, as this thing picks up steam in New York and as these hearings become public and we're going to them, people like that power dude are going to become the norm. These people
Yeah.
that are not right, that are not us, that are screaming loudly, trying to be our spokespeople. And in fact, what's funny about him is that he came on talking about we're foundational broke Americans, but whenever he wanted to talk about our greatness, like the sister from Canada, it was all this we. Now I know Haitians speak Creole, but that ain't French. So all that we shit was out of place and out of pocket, but that is the norm. And in fact, I'll land here. One of the sisters that was, and I say sisters loosely, that was in charge of the Reparations Commission, did most of the work and was one of our biggest adversaries, is a fellow Haitian by the name of Nicola Salages. She's an assemblywoman. And when they get power here in New York, they do exactly what that power did. That guy did, no pun intended. They will talk like we're all black, and then they create enclaves of power for themselves and for the ethnic group that they then weaponize against us. So we're in for a fight in New York, but we built that way. You know, we got Sister Brooke, Brother Sage, and others out here on the ground with us. So we're gonna put that work in and make sure it's either lineage or nothing.
My man, good talk, brother. That's the thing, man. This is why when the Jamaican sister called up, we don't want these folks as our damn representatives, because what happens is they get in these positions, and I'm seeing, man, we got to really keep an eye on who's who. I saw down in Georgia, a lot of these Nigerians, they were slipping in these positions, and they start looking out for each other and helping pushing little immigration this and little grants here. They get our tax dollars and starts pushing these little programs for their little groups. That's why whenever we talk about reparations, notice it's the tethers who's always opposing it. Every time, first they'll try to be slick. Man, we don't need to be begging. We don't need nothing. Hey, where are you from? Oh, I'm from Brooklyn. Nigga, where is your family from? Oh, why does it matter? We all black. And they get to talking crazy. The minute you see people start talking real greasy about reparations, and then you start trying to find out what's your background. Hey man, where your family from? Man, yo, my mama wasn't on drugs or nothing. I don't know. My mama didn't know her peoples. I don't know. Why you asking me that? What the hell you getting defensive for, nigga? Just asking where your family is from, you getting defensive? I don't know. Now you bringing up some skeletons now. When they start getting real weird and twitchy, when you start asking about their background, that's a telltale sign. When you start saying, "Hey man, where you from?" Hold on, now you getting all in my personal business now. Hold on, now that's you bringing up some energy that I ain't trying to touch on. We ain't that defensive about our family, even if we don't like them. Right? My family's from Alabama. My family's from North Carolina. I don't really fuck with them, but yeah, they from Georgia. Yeah, you don't get that damn defensive. The eyes get to bucking. Who's at my door? I got to go check my door. All right, anyway, y'all, I'm gonna come back on later because you see it's a lot of stuff going on in the daytime. My doorbell ringing, the whole shebang. I got to see what's going on. Packages coming. My dog's in the